guys? What's good? What's good? Thank you so much for tuning in. I definitely appreciate it. I'm just going to double check and make sure that I'm on YouTube because I'm still kind of new to the whole podcasting and YouTube thing. And so I just want to make sure that everything is set up properly. Don't forget that you can catch me live. You can catch me for the live recording of the Live Life Mogul podcast on YouTube every Thursday at 12 o'clock. That's where I'll be, and I will be live. Today we're going to be talking about how to start a business with no money. Now, this is technically an oxymoron, but what I want to say is after I did the podcast on how I left my 9 to 5, and I told you guys that I left my job with $50,000 for my 401k, somebody hit me up in my email and was like, well, what if I don't have $50,000 in my 401k? What if I don't have any money and I want to leave my job? What can I do? And I was like, let me help you out with that. First of all, there really is no business you can start with $0. It's not possible to start a business with no money, okay? But I did want to come in and talk to you guys about some different things that you can do to start a business for, minimal income. Some of it's $0, but some of it's like just no overhead, right? It's not that you can start a business with $0, but there are businesses that you can start that don't require a lot of startup, right? So what are some of those things that somebody might ask me? Well, one of those things that you can start with $0 if you're just getting started or you don't have a lot of money, but you want to start working on your side hustle is a blog. A blog does not cost you any money to start other than buying your URL or your domain name, right? You can do that at GoDaddy for 99 cents. You can go through Bluehost, which is who I use because GoDaddy sucks. I shouldn't say that just in case they want to sponsor my page one day. So I take that back. GoDaddy does not suck. However, you may start out there and want to progress to a more experienced provider, let's say that, which would be a Bluehost, okay? So you can start a blog for $0. It doesn't cost you anything to start blogging. How do you make money on a blog? How do I monetize a blog, LaNee? I know that's what you want to know. So a blog costs you $0 to start, other than the domain name. Blogs make money, or how they monetize the business is through advertising and through sponsors, okay? So you can literally start a blog for $0. You got to figure out what it is you want to talk about. Is it something that you're an expert on? Is it something that you have knowledge on? Is it going to be entertainment? Whatever the case might be, there's mom blogs. There are babysitting blogs. I mean, you can literally create a blog about anything these days. And as long as you can find an audience that agrees with or wants to listen to what you're talking about, people will pay you to be sponsored on your platform. They will pay you to advertise on your platform. They will pay you to come and speak. There's a variety of different ways that you can monetize a blog, which again costs $0 to get started. Okay, so a blog is one business that you can start that costs you no money. Okay, another thing that you can start, or another type of a business that you can have that doesn't cost you any money, is this right here. This whole concept that I'm doing right here, this podcast. Podcasts don't cost a lot of money to get started. They almost cost nothing. If you have a camera, if you have the ability to speak, and you know how to upload, a podcast doesn't cost you any money to start. And you can monetize your podcast. You can make money through your podcast by sponsors, by advertisers. You have to build it up now. You don't just start a podcast and all of a sudden people start throwing you money. That's not how it works. You have to find something very interesting to talk about, something that people are interested in, so that your viewership or your downloads or your listens go up. Once people see that somebody else is interested in what you're talking about, then they want to get on your platform so that they can advertise in front of your audience, okay? That's how you monetize your blog and or your podcast. You're going to get it through advertising dollars and things of that nature. Influence, popularity, things like that. Another thing that you can do that's free. Again, we're talking about free stuff. We're talking about things that cost $0 to get started in a business, right? Another thing you can do is a YouTube channel. A YouTube channel is free. Doesn't cost you any money. There's a 9-year-old kid. I think he's 9. He might be 10 or 11, but he's like very young. And he opens toys. That's his job. He is a YouTuber that opens toys, and this kid is bringing in like $12 million a year. I'm going to say that again. $12 million. All he does is opens toys on YouTube. That is his job. That is what he does. If you ever Google YouTube salary or YouTube income, you can see that there are some people that are making big bucks. And I'm talking about millions and millions of dollars on YouTube. Now, that is not to say that every single person who decides to start a YouTube channel is going to make millions and millions of dollars. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're looking for a side hustle and you're looking in to bring in a little bit of change, you might be able to make an extra $1,000 or an extra $5,000. You know what I'm saying? An extra $500. You might be able to start a YouTube channel and start generating the cash that you need to invest into your business. Okay? So I'm not saying that you can start a YouTube channel and all of a sudden start making all this money and it's going to, make all of your dreams come to life. But if you're struggling to find capital to start your business, then you can take one of these opportunities that cost $0 to create some income that you can then invest back into your business. Okay? So we talked about a blog costs no money for you to start and you can monetize it. A podcast costs no money for you to start and you can monetize it. A YouTube channel costs no money for you to start and you can monetize it. Now, what are some things then that you can start with a little bit of money? Maybe you're like, okay, those are cool things to start with $0, but I'm not comfortable getting on camera, so I can't do a YouTube channel. I really don't know how to podcast or speak, and I'm not a great writer. Okay, cool. So if none of those things work from you from a $0 standpoint, then I would say there are some things that you can start for minimal investment. Okay. There's two different things that I usually tell people to think about starting if they have minimal funds, right? One of those things would be something super easy, like either a t-shirt company or something that's pre-printed, anything that you can do on demand, okay? And for those of you that don't know what on demand is, on-demand shipping, on-demand printing basically is when you can create a product with some type of a graphic or design on it. You don't have to carry inventory because people can order from you on demand, which means whenever they order something, that's when it's printed and that's when it's shipped to them. This is a great business to get into if you don't have a lot of money to get started because you don't need a lot of overhead and you don't have to carry inventory, okay? Now, you do need some funds because you're going to have to pay for your, to register your business. You're going to have to pay for your domain name and you're going to have to pay to have some place to house your store, right? So again, depending on where you live, I'm in Arizona. Here it's only $35 to register your business. So that's $35. If you go with GoDaddy or Bluehost, let's say it's $11 to register your domain. So now you're looking at about $45. And then the platform that you use to host your store, let's say that's $20 a month, right? So for less than $100, you could literally start a business. Now, if you go this route, you will make some investments with graphics, depending on what you're going to do. If you're going to do a single graphic, one of my good friends, Vincent Crawford, just started Vinspiration, and his graphic is a turtle. It's a green turtle. And so he only needed one design because it's Vinspiration, but he has it on hats, he has it on t-shirts, he has it on hoodies, he has it on scarves. And I don't know his actual business model, but let's say he was doing on demand. All you would have to do then is create one graphic, upload it to the platform that you choose to do your print on demand, and then push traffic to it so that people would buy it from you. Super easy. There's no inventory for you. You've only had to invest money in the registering of the business, the domain, and the graphic. Now, depending on how many graphics you have, depending on how many products you have, on demand can be t-shirts, it can be hats, it can be pants, it can be yoga pants, it can be pillows, it can be towels, men's clothes, boys' clothes, kids' clothes, iPhone cases. Like literally you can create almost any type of product that you want on demand, okay? So again, another business that you can start with very low overhead, minimum overhead. Okay, hold on. I think I got a comment over here. I'm opening up my comment box so I can see. Hey, Devin, how are you? So that is a business that you can start with very low overhead. Now, If a product is the type of business that you want, but you're not really interested in print on demand, there's a new thing. It's not new, but it's kind of new to our community, which is called white labeling or private labeling, for those of you that may not be familiar with that. So if you ever wonder how somebody starts a makeup company, like how did somebody just go out and invent their own makeup company? Where did they test it? How did they do that? How did they start their own hair company? There's a way to start a company or to start a business where you don't actually have to create the product yourself. And it's called private labeling, also known as white labeling. And for somebody who wants to start a business, they don't want a lot of overhead, or they don't want to have to invent something themselves, then you can white label or private label a product. Meaning you buy a product that's already built, manufactured, in existence. You create a brand, and then you put your label over that product. So a lot of times when you see your girlfriends or your homies and they have their own beard line or they have their own makeup line or things of that nature, they basically private labeled something and then rebranded it as their own. This is super dope for our community, specifically because there's a lot of times when people say buy black, buy black, buy black, but we don't always have the right products, goods, or services to buy black. And so with white labeling or private labeling, you could literally look at one of our trends or look at one of our product areas where we're lacking and create a product to fill it. Now, this type of a product, like this type of a business model can vary with regards to cost. It can be low if you're just looking like to get in and you're looking for a lower threshold, but it can also be a little bit more expensive. So it just depends on the type of product, good, or service that you want to do. I actually teach how to white label. I have a white labeling program called White Label Like a Mogul, where I take people through the process of white labeling, because it's not difficult, but you kind of just want to know what the products are, who the manufacturers are, where to get the products, and things of that nature. So that's something else that you can do with regards to starting a business at a small, medium, very low overhead type of a business. Let's see, what other things are on here? I would say a meetup. Those are a little bit difficult. I don't always recommend people starting a meetup for the sake of having a business, because you can't set your clock to it. Sometimes you'll have people come, sometimes you won't. If people don't know you, then they might not want to pay. So that might not be a great way to go. What else is something else? Another way to start a business that's free. What are you good at? Like, what is your expertise? What do you have that people want? What do you know? What can you charge for? What can you monetize? A lot of times when people think about starting a business, they think it's the super audacious, grandiose thing. And it can be, depending on the type of business you're starting. If you have a brick and mortar business, if you have a business that you have to buy into, it can be expensive, but there are a lot of businesses that you can start with minimum overhead. Some of the things that create an increase in business startup are going to be things like your logo. Your logo could be one of those things where it can be anywhere from $50 to $500, right? So it just depends on where you are when you get started. Things that don't really change, that are always going to be fairly consistent with starting your business: the cost to register your business. And again, it really depends on where you are. It's only $35 here in Phoenix, so it doesn't cost a lot of money. A lot of times people will look on websites like LegalZoom and things of that nature, and they tell you it's $300 to start your business. But that's because you're paying them a service fee to go start your business. It only costs $35 to go downtown to the corporate commission and register your business. $35 in Arizona. I know it's $500 in Boston, $50 in Virginia. It varies depending on where you live. The cost to set up your domain, 99 cents on GoDaddy, $11.99 if you go to someplace that's more professional. And then getting your website up, and that will vary depending on what type of a platform you're going to use. If you're doing e-commerce, you're probably going to do Squarespace or Shopify or something of that nature. So you're looking at maybe $15 to $25 a month for your store. If you're doing WordPress, that can vary anywhere between, I would say, $65 to $1,500 if you're just getting started. And so it doesn't cost a lot of money to start your business. When I did that broadcast where I talked about how I left my job, how I left my 9 to 5 and became a full-time entrepreneur, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for going on 7 years now. when I did that, I really was just wanted to talk about the nuances, what to be prepared for. Um, Even though I left with $50,000, how I had $0 in 6 months. I wanted to talk about, what you should know about designing a website, the difference between a web designer and the difference between a web developer. I wanted to talk about how I lost $10,000. So it wasn't really to say that you have to leave your job with $50,000. That's not why I did that podcast. I really just wanted to help some people who are saying, I'm going to start my business next year. 2020 is my year to start my business. I just want to really help some people be clear and concise on what that looks like and what that means, and know that it's possible and you can do it. You don't have to keep saying, next year I'm going to start my business. Next year I'm going to start my business. Next year. You really can do it in the next 3 to 6 months. I don't want to say it's very simple, because I don't want to downplay it and make it sound like it doesn't take any energy and effort to start a business, because it does. But a lot of times we'll look at something like starting a business and overcomplicate it. It's not complicated. Once you know what it is that you want to do, once you know who your target market is, once you know where they are and how to reach them, once you create a dope business system, a dope business process for how you're going to get this product out to your clients and your customers, and you figure out your customer support, and you create a sturdy, quality, professional foundation, then it's really just marketing that business and getting it out to people. So it doesn't have to cost a whole lot of money to get started. When I left my job, that's how much I had. But that doesn't mean that you have to have $50,000. Now, I will say that you should have some money in the bank before you leave your job. But for those of you that are interested in just getting started, like you're looking for your side hustle right now, like what can I do right now to start generating some extra income? What can I do to start bringing some money into my house to put me in a position to be able to profit, that puts me in a position to be able to leave my job, that puts me in a position to be able to do what comes next? There are things that you can do. And again, the things that we talked about today, I'm looking at my list. I just taught a class the other day on 20 revenue streams. So I taught a class where I showed the participants 20 different ways that they can make money. And I'll tell you what those things are, but I only talked to you guys today about the ones that are free or $0 or low dollars. But the 20 things that I taught on the other day were products, services, merchandise, as a speaker, hosting an event, a YouTube channel, writing a book as an author, creating a course, starting a blog, becoming an affiliate. Ooh, I should have talked to you guys about that. Being an affiliate is free too. It doesn't cost you no money and you make money. Starting a podcast, white or private labeling a product, becoming a consultant or a strategist, being a sponsor, being an advertiser, a meetup or networking, licensing your content, creating a vendor list, doing transcripts or audio files. Those are 20 different ways that an individual can make money. But which one of those are free to no cost are going to be your podcast. Doesn't cost you any money to start that. YouTube channel doesn't cost any money. A blog doesn't cost any money. Being an affiliate costs no money and you make money. And then also an influencer. People are making a lot of money on Instagram as an influencer. I don't know if that's something you're interested in. Is really just picking a concept, an idea, something of interest that people are interested in and posting it on a regular basis. And that's really it. So I don't know who actually wrote me asking me about starting a business with no money. I hope I answered your question. I hope I gave you some good ideas to think about if you are interested in starting a business with no money. If you want to start a business and you have no money or you have minimal funds, you can also check out the Mogul in Training program, which is not going to be the Mogul in Training program after January 1st, which is weird to say it because depending on when somebody watches this video or listens to this podcast, it won't be the Mogul in Training program anymore. But right now it's called Mogul in Training. And it's literally an archival library of all the business classes and courses I've ever taught. So marketing, branding, how to start your business, how to create social media graphics, how to find your target market. I've literally taught those things over the past 6 years because I wanted to make sure that people who did not have a lot of money to get started had the right knowledge and information. Because if you don't have a lot of money when you get started, you can literally lose a lot of money very fast trying to find the right answers. That is some of the reason why I lost so much money when I first got started. I didn't have the right answers. Let me phrase that. I didn't ask the right questions because I didn't know what the right answer was that I needed to get to. And so I lost a lot of money when I first got started because of that. So if there is anything that you need to know about starting a business and you would like some assistance, go. You can either go to themogulinstitute.com, or you can go to LaNeeJavet.com and click on the link at the top, and it will take you to the Mogul Institute. There you can find classes on email marketing, sales funnels, starting a business, crowdfunding, social media. Like, I've literally created courses and classes and information that is relative to people that are starting a business, so that you don't have to be out here by yourself feeling like you can't do it. All right. So that's our podcast for today. I am LaNee Javet. This is the Live Life Mogul podcast. Today we talked about how to start a business with zero money and no dollars. And if you like this podcast, make sure you go check out the one on how I left my 9-to-5, which is what sparked this podcast. And I tell you how I transitioned out of my full-time job into full-time entrepreneurship and how I've been able to do it for the past 7 years. Tanisha Wagner says, how can you promote and actually make sales from the no money businesses? Ooh, that's a great question. So depending on which business model you use, right? So let's say you do the blog or the podcast, right? So how you make money from that, let's see, how can you promote and actually make sales from the no money? Okay, so both of those models are based on blog and podcast are based on audience and reach. So you have to build an audience, right? So from a blog perspective, you would market your posts. So if you write a particular blog, you think it's good, then you would want to market it, boost your posts, do something on Facebook, do something on Instagram that says, hey, I wrote this blog or I did this vlog, go check it out. So you want to drive traffic to your website, drive traffic to your YouTube channel, drive traffic through marketing, through Facebook ads, Instagram ads, whatever the case might be. Based on that traffic, that algorithm, the ability to send traffic to your site, somebody is going to say, I want to work with you so that I can get on your website. And then you'll make money through advertising or through sponsors, okay? I don't know if you guys know this chick. Her name is Lovey. She has this website called Awesomely Lovely. All she does is has a blog. And because of the traffic that comes to her blog, because of the shares, she's able to advertise on her blog, Google ads and things of that nature. But also people will pay her to advertise on her blog. People will pay her to advertise on her Instagram because she's an influencer, okay? So how can you promote and actually make money from your no dollar start business? You monetize it through advertising, you monetize it through sponsors, you monetize it through becoming an influencer. If you do it right, people will then ask you to come and speak. People will then ask you to come and be at their events. So that's how you can actually monetize a podcast or a blog. As far as affiliates go, so an affiliate link is basically you supporting a particular business, right? And you share their link to your audience, to your email list, to whomever. And whenever somebody buys from your link, you get paid. That's why you'll sometimes see an influencer or YouTuber or somebody saying, hey, go buy this product. Here's my code. Every time you buy something using their code, they get paid. Didn't cost them anything, right? So that's how affiliate links work. So that's how you make sales from the affiliates and the print on demand. Okay, so that's affiliate. So with print on demand, you would basically create your product, put it in your store, and then you would promote your store. So you would promote your store with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, maybe on Pinterest, maybe on LinkedIn, wherever, however, depending on what you sell in your store, will really depend on where you're going to promote it at and how you're going to sell it, okay? And then with print on demand, you make money every time somebody buys a product. Now, one of the things I will tell you with print on demand that I have seen is that the margins are not that great compared to if you carry inventory. And so what I mean by that is if you were to order shirts printed with your logo or your graphic on them, they might cost you anywhere from $4 to $8. Let's say $4 to $8, right? And if you sell the shirt for $25, you're making, about $15 profit. You're making a good profit. When you do print on demand, because they print the shirt, no, they give you the shirt, they print the shirt, they package the shirt, they mail the shirt, your overall pricing on something like that is going to be, they're probably going to charge you about 11 to 12, no, like $13, $14 for the shirt. So if you sell that shirt for $24, you're only going to make about $9 profit, $9 to $10 profit. So there's cost savings to me because my merchandise is not my main business. Coaching, speaking, writing, podcasting, that's my main business. So my t-shirt business, my merchandise business, it's because it's not my main business, I don't care that I make a smaller dollar amount, because the time that it would take me to run to the post office, to keep up with sales, to do customer support, I don't have that kind of time. I have other things I got to do. And so for me, it does not bother me that they take a higher dollar amount and give me the rest, because it's literally extra money that comes to me. Like I don't even pay attention to it because it's literally automatic. It's set on demand. People order the shirts. The company sends it out to them. Boom. It's done. It's a done deal. So it doesn't bother me. But if somebody was looking to do this as a full-time business, I have a homeboy who has a t-shirt business. He makes like $13,000 to $15,000 in his t-shirt business. And when he switched to print on demand, his $13,000 to $15,000 months went down to $8,000. And he was like, no, let me tell you what we're not about to do. I can't be losing this kind of money. And so he went back to printing his own t-shirts because that's his real business. That's his full-time business. So it really just depends. Again, I'm giving you guys these options as ways to start a business so that you can start creating some revenue so that you can actually invest in a business. So if somebody was saying, I don't have the money to start a business, but I really want to have a business, these are some ways that you can get started. Use these to create some income, create some revenue so that you can take those funds to invest in the business that you may really want. I think it was in DC when the government shut down. And these two ladies literally started baking. Like they had to make money. They had to pay their bills. They weren't thinking about being entrepreneurs. They weren't thinking about starting a business. They just was like, I got to pay my bills. I got to hustle. And so they started a baking company, a little catering business. In the time that the government was shut off, they made more money baking cakes in a month than they made at their job. And when the government restarted, they stayed away from their job and just opened and kept up with their business. Like, you just don't know what thing you're going to go into or what thing you're going to start that you're going to be good at that can produce revenue, that could be dope. Like, they weren't intending on starting a baking company or a baking business, but it literally took off and did so good. They were able to leave their corporate job and do this business full time. So it's really just a matter of starting something. When you start something, you'll find out what you like. You'll find out what you're good at. You'll find out what you're not good at. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a matter of stepping out on faith and starting something. All right, one more question. How would you pay for the ads with no money? Ooh, that is a great question. If you don't have money, you cannot pay for ads. You can't pay for ads with no money. You gotta have money to pay for ads. So something that you might want to think about doing is sharing your posts in different groups. Having your friends share them with their friends. So that's where networking comes into play, where if you can't pay Facebook or Instagram $100 to go out here and market for you, you use your network and you say, hey, I started this new company, I started this new business, here's my product or here's my website, can you share this for me? And if you can get 10 people to share it with 10 people, that's your 100, right? So you just keep doing that so that it keeps getting the people. That's the beauty of social media. Even if you look at Popeyes, you see what Popeyes did? The whole Popeyes chicken sandwich thing. Popeyes, I read an article that says where Popeyes said they literally saved $23 million in advertising because we as consumers did the work for them. So they didn't have to pay $1 to advertise that damn chicken sandwich because we did it. Every time we shared it, every time we told somebody about it, every time we went and got a sandwich and did a test, they made money. Chick-fil-A made money, and they wasn't even part of the campaign. And Popeyes didn't have to do any advertising. So use your network to advertise. This is social media because we literally share everything. So if you can't pay to advertise, have somebody or people that you know push the product for you. Share the graphic for you. Share your website for you. Share your social media page for you. Drop it off in Facebook groups. Talk about it wherever you go. Hand somebody something. There are ways around marketing and advertising if you don't have dollars. You have to use your mouth. You have to start closing sales. You have to consistently be talking about what it is that you offer. And that's another way that you can market if you don't have money. Okay? Great info. Good job. You're welcome, Tanisha. So I hope that I answered everybody's questions. For those of you that are watching, because you guys know I record the Live Life Mogul podcast, I record it live on YouTube. I also have it going on over here on my Facebook page, and I can only see your comments if you're on my business page. So if you're asking me a question and you're not on my Facebook business page, I apologize because I cannot see it. But always try to catch me on YouTube because I'm looking at my YouTube page. I can see my YouTube comments. I look at the Facebook page. But I'm always on YouTube, Thursdays, 12 o'clock for the Live Life Mogul podcast. We're going to be talking about life. We're going to be talking about business. And we're just going to be talking about what are ways that we can accelerate our life, accelerate our mindset, accelerate our goals, accelerate our business. Okay, so tune in every Thursday. Or if you can't watch live, download. We are available in iTunes. We're in the Google Store, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spreaker. You can catch us on any of your favorite podcast platforms. Please download. If this is your first time checking us out, go listen to another one. I have a podcast on going from mediocre to mogul. I talk about why it's important not to run a mediocre business. I talk about how I left my 9 to 5. So there's a lot of good content in these previous podcasts. If this is your first time checking me out, I love you. I will holler at you guys later. Have a blessed day. Enjoy your Halloween if you're into that thing. I actually don't do Halloween, but I will be out with my nieces and nephews tonight, making sure that they are safe. So I pray that you guys and your families will be safe this evening. If you have any questions, if you would like to ask me something, you can email me at ask@LaNeeJavet.com. ask@LaNeeJavet.com. And I may choose to pick your question to answer live on a podcast. All right? You guys be blessed. Have a great day, and I will holler at you next time. Peace.